All right. What's up, everybody, and welcome to Bump and Run. I'm Pete Colasano, joined as always by my good friend who's not too healthy, not too happy, but we are getting closer to the Christmas season and the college football playoffs. Mr. Scott Bracey, what's going on, dude?
Oh, Peter, I've had better Thursdays than the one I'm having today, but it is what it is. And if you want to get right into it, we could jump right on it.
Yeah, why don't you lead the way on this one, Mr. Sharon Moore gets fired with cause from the Michigan Wolverines. After you, sir.
So with cause is a big thing, a big key statement there, because if he didn't, he would be owed $12 million just for being a shitty football coach. And that's where we'll start there. Weeks and weeks and weeks have led up to this point of me and you saying he will be gone at some point. He will go into next year on the hot seat, no playoff. You know, always a good recruiting class, always a good transfer portal, good fan base, all the resources, blah, blah, blah. So I start by saying I did not want him to be my football coach long term. I did not want it to go the way it's gone over the last 20-something hours.
Right.
He was fired yesterday, as Pete said, with cause, with having an inappropriate relationship with a staff member, if that's what she works on the field, if she works in the offices, if she works whatever, but she's like in her mid-20s. He's a married man with 3 kids. And then the story gets worse. You know, it's one thing, affairs happen in life, everyone knows that, but it's one thing, and it's in the Michigan, rule book, contract, all that stuff. Can't have a relationship with a student, obviously a student, an intern or whatever, a staff member, whatever it is. So right then there, you're fired. Then, when after the AD Ward Manuel tells him he's fired, he goes to the girl's house and threatens her with a knife and threatens to hurt himself.
Let's be clear that this is what's alleged. Am I correct?
This is alleged, but this is all over the place now. He is in jail.
Right.
He's detained. He's being arraigned tomorrow morning, from what I understand. Two towns over from Ann Arbor. I'm not sure the name of it. So now it goes from bad, your football career might be over, coaching career might be over, to now your life is in deep shit. And you have a wife with 3 kids. You left 100-something kids that these parents have trusted you with their fucking sons. And you do something like this at Michigan. I'm disgusted. Put football aside for a minute, just as life and a man. And I have nieces and I have friends and a sister. It's disgusting. I don't know what he was thinking. Apparently thinking with the wrong head. And I'm not trying to be funny there at all. It's true.
I know.
Going back to football, there's awful timing. We were making fun of Penn State for 2 weeks, and now Michigan's in an absolute worse place than Penn State was. I do think it's a phenomenal job. Let's be honest there. But timing's not great. Recruiting class just signed. Transfer portal's a month away, 3 weeks away. You have a bowl game to prepare for. You still have kids. Dude, it's sloppy every inch, every second, every corner you turn here. It's bad. Now, we can go into coaches. We can do whatever you want to do. I'm sure you have some opinions on this as well, but it's just not a great day for a Michigan fan here.
You laid it out perfectly about what happened. I'll pick up on the football side of it, not to try to make light of the life side of it, but the football side of it is very much life for a lot of people. You mentioned the guys on the field, other coaches on the staff, right down to friggin' secretaries. It's a life situation for everybody. So it's shocking, and right before the holidays for a lot of these people who had nothing to do with this, that kind of know that they're really probably going to be looking for another job soon. So the timing is terrible. I think my guess is, while you want to get this done quickly, what I'll say is like a kind of timeline where you really want to have it finalized is, I would say you'd want to have it finalized at or just before the bowl game, which is New Year's Eve. Because to me, the portal opens on January 2nd. And as a coach coming in, I would want to have at least a few days to meet with current players, to try to salvage any of them who were thinking, the hell with this, I'm leaving now, to try to get them to stay.
Yeah.
Okay. So to me, as a program, just from the football side of it, I'd want to get somebody in there. It doesn't matter if it's this week or next week, but maybe a couple days after Christmas would be beneficial, so that there's time to speak to current players. Okay. And then yes, you can get on the actual recruiting trail and speak to guys that were already signed or likely to sign or whatever, that Sharon Moore had at least done a decent job of recruiting. So that's a big deal. There was a lot of names thrown out today, like all over the place. And like from like Brian Kelly, which I don't know why you would want to get involved in that shit show after what just went down in LSU.
Michigan already said no. That's the name they're not going to entertain.
Like, I don't know why you would go down that road. And then I hear names like Kellen DeBoer and even Matt Campbell. I'm like, the ink isn't even dry on his contract. I get that Michigan's a better job, but do you see how shitty that would look? Do you see how shitty it would look if you went with DeBoer? And so this is where I'm at. Like, do you want another Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss, LSU situation in Michigan? I don't think so. And then even the name, was it Minter, who's a D coordinator for the Chargers?
Yeah.
Doesn't he have some kind of still stipulation from when he was there with?
You want to laugh?
Go ahead.
It ended today.
Did it end today? That's it. Yeah. That is funny. But I don't know. Does he have head coaching experience?
So no, that's two things. That's two good points right there. One is I'm done with these rookie head coaches, and number two is they got to get clean of this hardball nonsense bullshit.
I think they got to cut clean from the
even the AD's in trouble, dude. It's been bad.
2 years ago, you probably could have had Matt Campbell, and that would have been a fantastic hire. Okay,
yeah.
So I look at the list of names that they have out there. The guy from Arizona State.
That's like a name that's intriguing me a little bit.
A big enough head coach? I don't know. Jeb Fish out in Washington.
That's the guy who I like. I think that's stable.
He's got former Harbaugh connections.
I know, but he wasn't there. He wasn't there when it was sloppy though. He was there early on.
That. I get it. But does he want to get in the mix of this funkiness? Like, so I have a name that has NFL and college experience. He's available right now.
Don't tell me Chip Kelly.
He's an offensive guy, so you're bringing in a guy that can sell what he's doing to Bryce Underwood, right? He's been excellent historically with quarterbacks, and he's available immediately, so you're not pissing anybody off.
It's Chip Kelly.
His name is Brian Daboll. His name is Brian Daboll. Has head coaching experience in the NFL, so you know he knows how to do leadership, organization, round up the guys. He's worked in college under Nick Saban. If you can't learn under Nick Saban, then I don't know who you can learn under. He's an offensive guy, so you can hold on to Bryce Underwood.
I got thoughts.
I just look at the list, I look at the timing, and I say, to me, this, if you were to hire Brian Daboll, this very much has like a Pete Carroll kind of feel of it. Where it was like didn't quite succeed enough in the pros, and how Pete Carroll came to USC and was a goddamn machine over there. And now, unlike Pete Carroll, you don't have to worry about paying these guys under the table. You can pay them above the table. So and Daboll has even experience with that with paid players. And I just think it with this timing at this time of year with under this kind of time crunch, I think it ends up being a really good hire.
The thing that confused me with Daboll is he got so bad and so fast in New York. But when he was still there, they were in every game. Like, they didn't quit on him. They were fucking, like, he's good with quarterbacks.
Look, and even this year at times doing it. He's got Josh Allen under his belt and Jackson Dart under his belt. He wasn't
good with Jones. That's what's weird. Because then Jones was good with Indianapolis.
He did take Jones to a playoff game, and they won a playoff game. And that was his best. That was Jones' best year.
I know.
You know, we used to say, like, we like Daboll, but they had a terrible offensive line or they didn't have wideouts.
Defense was bad.
Even look what they did this year with Dart. When Neighbors went down, they were still pretty, I don't know if I'd use the word explosive, but they moved the ball around and scored and were effective.
That's not an awful name.
And I just look around and I say, this is a mess right now. This is a hot mess.
Mm-hmm.
What you don't necessarily want is something risky. You don't want to piss more people off. I just think this is open and available, and and he has the leadership skills. He's already been a head coach in the NFL, has some college experience, offensive guy, very well respected on the offensive side of the ball. I think it fits really nice.
You said
kind of a tough guy, little overweight, bald, like he fits the mold, Midwestern type man. I don't know where he's from originally, but like he has the look of a Midwestern guy.
It's fair.
Like a Rick Majerus kind of looking dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's pretty good. If you wait for, like, I'm hearing like Dan Lanning, he's not leaving.
He already said no. Yeah.
I think Clark Lee could be approachable again because I think they throw him more money.
It looks gross for him then too because he literally like 2 days ago signed a contract extension. Well,
listen, but there's also people out there saying that they said no to Penn State because then there's been rumors that this is going on for a while that Michigan might come open. This was a rumor going on from October
for sure. Yeah.
So, but listen, in this internet age, you read everything, you don't believe anything. You know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah.
So, like you said, pissing people off, like Dan Lanning, these guys are in the playoffs too. Like,
right, they're in the playoffs. You don't know how, and the reason I even mentioned that you don't want to necessarily, you're not looking to aggravate people because this is already a monster disappointment.
Yeah,
like you already are catching as a university, not just your football team, as a university, you're catching a ton of heat. So now you're going to bring the heat from the sports media. And because you stole a guy last minute from Washington, and now Washington is screwed.
College football is fucking dirty anyway.
I get it. No, and a week later, nobody gives a shit about Ole Miss, right? Until they play their game, and then we'll talk about it, and then we'll forget it again.
Right? Yeah.
But I'm just saying, in the moment, do you really need that? Is that what you want? More heat?
Well, as you know, Michigan's got a ton of fucking rich people in their corner.
Tons.
They don't give a shit right now. They want to get the best guy in there. Try to keep this thing as glued together as possible.
That's fair. Do we know
getting the best guy is getting the best guy? I understand what you're saying, but
I look at I'm saying that's just a component of it.
Yeah.
I actually look and I say, who wouldn't want a guy who has NFL head coaching experience to be my head coach at Michigan? Like a well-respected guy, a guy who people think, he probably got a longer leash than most people would because everyone around the league thinks he's a really good coach. And the two of us included.
Including Nick Saban, too, like you said.
Including Nick Saban. So that's what I mean. I think you're getting the best of all worlds. Well, maybe not the best of all worlds.
I don't hate it.
Covering all your bases.
My goal here is to get a head coach, proven head coach. I don't want like Minter, even Jay Harbaugh. So, like, got to get away from like all that shit. Like,
and you have no idea.
Even the OC at Buffalo now, dude, you're not going to get him till mid-January, the earliest.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I mean. You cover all the bases now. Like immediately all bases are covered and it's clean. I just think it's nice that it's clean. It's not everything. It's just nice that it's clean.
I wonder how he would recruit there though.
Look, in this day and age, money talks. So I'm sure you would know better than me whether or not Michigan has a GM, if they have a general manager that does.
They did.
and you got people. You got people that, guide you on these kind of things. Like this is,
Yeah.
And the thing is, with that, they already have a really nice recruiting class. I think they have a top 10 recruiting class in the country. Maybe was it 11? Yeah. So like all you got to do right now is hold on to those guys, and then you have an entire year.
Yeah,
figure out the system of how we're going to go about it.
Whoever the coach is, if you keep this one together, I'm not worried about going forward. They'll be fine going forward. But
here's what I want. Here's why Dable to me just like checks so many necessary boxes. Grown up, check. Offense, check.
Yeah.
Experience, check.
Quarterback,
that's why I say offensive guy, check. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like clear leadership ability, check. Been around the block.
Well, my point is, Sharon was an offensive guy, but he had no quarterback shit in his back pocket.
He was an offensive lineman. It wasn't like anybody thought of him. Yeah, I'm just saying, I think Brian Dable has a significantly better offensive reputation than Sharon Moore.
Here's the funny part. He's not keeping Wink.
No, probably not. Probably not. But I don't know. I think it fits a lot of things, and it's also quiet and clean. Like you're not rubbing anybody the wrong way.
Yeah.
Like I even look like we'll talk about this, I guess, but like the Notre Dame thing not making the playoffs, and the way the Bavakwa guy, the AD for Notre Dame is like spouting off. Dude, you're going to piss a lot of people off, and they're not going to play you. And you're an independent, and they're all going to walk away from you. Now what do you got? Now what are you going to? You're going to go back and beg ACC to enter they're going to be like, screw you, dude. Remember how bad we are? So, look at the battle that's going on there. You hire Daboll, you get all the good stuff without any of the negative. I'll ask you this, and then we can move on to other stuff.
Yeah.
How do you think that would be received in like with Michigan people?
Dable?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because here's my thinking. And again, all these rumors, all these names, all the bullshit, it's all fucking smoke right now. Like realistically, what do Michigan people want? Like, is DeBoer number one? Is Fish number two? Is Marcus Freeman number two? I'm just throwing names out there. Like, half of them are unrealistic. Does Dable want to coach in the NFL again? Is he going to leave in 3 years? Because they don't want that either. You know, like
I get that.
Yeah.
But you have a cleanup on aisle 6 right now.
Yeah.
And you need to do it the best that you possibly can.
And they got to do it fairly quickly. They got to do it within 2
You got to do it relatively quickly. And these guys are either in bowl games or in playoffs. I just think that the DeBoer thing is a like a 98% long shot.
It's just weird though. Like, why does his name keep like coming up? Like, he's out of Alabama. Like,
well, there were rumors that he's not happy down there, and I don't know if that's the pressure or just like the people or just always hacking him or whatever.
Nick Saban has an office next to him. That doesn't fucking help for sure. I mean,
but it doesn't get much softer when you go to Michigan.
No, it doesn't. I mean,
now I get it. He's a Midwestern guy, and this is a Southern school, and down there, that's all they got. And in Michigan, it's different. But I just think that's and plus, there's no guarantee that works anyway. Again, there's no guarantee that anybody works. The Dable thing just makes so much sense to me. And it's quick, easy, and clean. Like, you don't have to, there's no buyout to pay off. There's no nothing. There's no getting him out of a contract. There's no messiness of like people getting pissed off, the country getting pissed off. There's no Lane Kiffin business in this one. So, and you're right. Like, pretty much all the jobs, that's how it goes. Somebody leaves, that place is unhappy that he left. And I don't know how else you can do it, because that's how people get hired. But this, you get to avoid that and get a guy who's been a decent head coach in the NFL. I think that's I think that's a really fortunate spot for them to be in. It's Michigan. You can't just go get like the offensive coordinator for the Miami Hurricanes. You can't do it. You know, I heard name like Manny Diaz for Duke.
Oh, I heard that too. No way. Oh, my God. Oh.
I like Manny Diaz. Did a great job this year. Goes and wins the ACC championship game. Like, fantastic. Bro.
No, thanks.
I mean, I just think that's a leap. That's all. I think that's a leap.
I would give it a Biff over I'd give it the fucking Manny Diaz.
Yeah, I guess the name that, to me, if you're going to steal a coach, the guy from Arizona State makes the most sense, because that's a big move for him. It's hard to turn that down. Levitt has left. Our quarterback Levitt is going into the portal, so he's going to be gone. It would be good timing for him to go. Are you that excited about that hire?
Not really.
I just look and I say
it's better than Diaz. It's better than
kind of pretty
than Drinkowitz in Missouri.
And I like the guy. I brought up last year how he took his bonus and gave it to all the people that work under him. Like, he gave that money away. I like him a lot. I don't know, man. Are you back in this position a couple years from now? I'm not saying you are, but I just, with Dable, I think it's a little more solid, a little more of a, as if we're going to put it in percentages, I think it's a higher percentage of success, of likelihood for success. Jeb Fish, I like him a lot. So I don't know. I don't know if these guys are going to leave at this point, man. I just think that's a lot to ask. Man, because you imagine you go in, you could say this with Penn State, same thing, but you imagine you go in there, you lose half the guys that were recruited by Moore, and you can't grab any guys in the portal because they're like, it's just a shit show over there. And then you come in your first season and you go like 6-6.
Yeah.
Bryce Underwood leaves to go to LSU, which is where he almost went, right? So, and now you go 6-6, and you're like, shit, man, I wish I was back at Washington. You think there's no pressure if you're 7-5, 6-6 at Michigan?
Yeah.
I don't care if it's your first year or not.
Not ideal, my friend. Not ideal.
Let's talk some NFL.
All right. Last Thursday night, Detroit Lions 44, Dallas Cowboys 30. Detroit looked great. This is the Detroit team we thought we'd see all year, most of the year at least.
Dallas defensively regressed back to
Lamb gets hurt, concussion city. He goes out. Pickens looked like he was concussed. Looked like he didn't want to be there at all.
Yeah, he looked like he had an important appointment to get to.
Fucking weird player, man. He's a weird dude.
Wide receivers are so unique in the NFL.
Oh my God.
Like, you know what's so funny? Like, the cornerbacks are often kind of diva-like also, but they never don't show up for games. They never
Right.
play half-ass in games. It's
Never.
only wide receivers, man. It's so interesting to me. They're like freaking rock stars. They're literally like rock stars. Like, oh, I don't want any green M&Ms in the bowl. I want a brand new toilet seat. Like, it's just they're just odd balls, man. When you look historically at all the strange stories that happen in the NFL, what is it, like 60-70% of them are wide receivers?
God.
Whether it's Antonio Brown or Plaxico Burress or I don't know. It's just
Antonio
so
Holmes,
weird,
Braylon Edwards, like you can go on and on.
And they're so talented. They're the one position on the field that could go and play like multiple sports. Like you could go be baseball players, basketball players, whatever. But they're just this is so strange upstairs. So strange.
Yeah.
Good game. It was a good game for Detroit. They needed it.
Yeah.
So it helps them, especially going into the big game that they have this week. But they still gave up 30 points?
Yeah.
That's not great. And they still have some lingering issues on the defensive side of the ball.
Yes, they do. Dallas got some luck with Philly losing again, so they're not dead and buried just yet, but they're running out of time. Snow Globe game in Buffalo. And you want to talk about points, 39-34 over the Bengals. Bengals had this game pretty much, I wouldn't say wrapped up, in a good position. Burrow
in control. They were in control. Yeah.
In control.
And bizarre picks, nonetheless.
Yep. 2 tips. Oh, my God. And Cincinnati's defense is just – Buffalo's isn't much better.
It's worse, really.
But Buffalo keeping their butts up the Patriots' ass in that division. The AFC North is just nobody wants it. It's
no.
Cincinnati now with 9 losses. I think they're probably dead and buried at this point.
Josh Allen right now is the best football player in the NFL. Because
he won't win MVP either, which is crazy.
I think he might, because he literally is carrying this team. They have no wide receivers. They have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. And we're still talking about them like they're title contenders.
They're missing tackles, too. I think one of them played last week. But
it's just a disaster. I'm going to say this, and this is the truth. What are they, 9-4?
I think so. Yeah.
9-4. This is not a good football team.
No.
There's one reason and one reason only that they're 9-4, and that's Josh Allen. It's as simple as that. It's a bad defensive team. They should have lost that game. If they just have one of those turnovers instead of 2, Cincinnati probably still wins.
I agree.
Like, you need both of them to win the game. And that's what Josh Allen multiple touchdown passes that were literally threading the needle. The one he threw.
The 4th down one? Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. It was
in the end zone? Yeah.
I don't even know how the hell that thing got through. It was almost like Cincinnati guys were like, screw it. Nobody's there.
And I think the ball caught the receiver. That thing was coming in so fucking hard.
And then he takes off, 30, 40-yard run for a touchdown. And then he gets another
dashing through the snow.
He's sick. Yeah, and he's the whole goddamn team. And really we're going to do our rankings later, and they're around. But what's crazy to me is that they're around on that list, whether they're on the list or honorable mention. And we both think as a team, they're not good. And I don't know how much we even like the damn head coach. You're a defensive guy, and your defense stinks.
I tell you, I'm glad you brought that up, because the more years that go by, I like him less.
The only reason he still has a job is because of Josh Allen. Like, Josh Allen is almost screwing himself by playing so well, because if you're going to make it to the second round of the playoffs, how do you fire your coach?
I know.
Now Brian Dable won't be available because he's going to be the Michigan coach. So
unless you're Marty Schottenheimer, that's the really guy that gets fired going to the playoff. It has fallen apart in Indianapolis, Peter.
Oh, bro, and it's going to get worse.
Jaguars 36, Colts 19. Daniel Jones, poor Danny Jones, torn Achilles. This fucking poor bastard. I really.
And the play was so sad. It was such a set. You just see him lift that back foot after,
and then he slammed his helmet on the ground. Oh, then watching the guys come over to him, it's just heartbreaking. As a former athlete's like,
it's by the way, with the Colts training staff. I know you don't know when he's on the sideline that he has a torn Achilles, but can we get the card out?
I said that I'm yelling at the television. I'm screaming at the television.
What the hell, man?
Get him a cart.
Get him a car. Why is this guy limping to the locker room? Well, he said he wanted to walk. I don't give a shit what he said. Get him on the cart. Crazy.
It's over for the Colts because
Absolutely.
their schedule's brutal. They just signed 44-year-old Philip Rivers. Pete, how old are you? 52?
52.
Can you imagine 8 years ago playing fucking football?
I would have loved to, but no.
No. This is if he plays Sunday, this is going to be a fucking horror show.
It couldn't be a worse team for him to have to play
Absolutely on the road. Oh my!
On the road against Seattle, who brings more pressure. Now, the only thing I will say is this: Philip Rivers was never, and I mean never, fleet of foot. Okay, his scrambling ability was at best shuffling in the pocket. So whatever with that. And I think he'll probably be able to throw just as fine. His last year in Indianapolis was actually good. They had 11 wins. He threw for 4,000 yards. Nobody does that shit anymore. Like, it's just crazy. But he doesn't move. I'm more concerned, like, is he going to be able to take a hit or is he going to literally die? I don't want anybody dying on the field. I would prefer nobody died on the field. So it's that kind of stuff that I'm like, get hit and get up. And it's not exactly the kind of thing you can practice. And the funny thing is, I will be rooting for him because it's a freaking phenomenal story that I would love for us to be able to talk about next week. That he was, the Colts went up to Seattle, Washington, and Philip Rivers delivers a W. That'd be like the greatest story ever. That's a Hollywood movie. But I don't think so. And somebody was asking me, like, is that the best they could do? And I'm like, well, that's kind of the best you can do midweek. You got a guy who's familiar with the offense, familiar with the terminology. Of course, Cam Newton was bitching and crying because they didn't, call him. And it's like, well, who would want you? You're such a freaking weirdo. And second of all, you have no familiarity with the offense and the terminology. So the whole reason is because of that. That's the biggest reason. You can get Josh Dobbs, but he doesn't know shit. Well, I don't even know if he's available. That kind of player.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He's
somewhere. He's somewhere. I saw him somewhere.
It can't be any worse. It's just wild. Like, he's literally a grandfather. So 9 kids, at least 1 grandkid. It's a hell of a thing. I'll be rooting for him, but I will be keeping my fingers and toes crossed that he doesn't get hurt. The other side of it, by the way, I just want to say Jacksonville is really like rounding into form at the right time. They are also 9-4 right now. Oh, by the way, they get after the quarterback, my man. That defense is getting better and better every single week. They're okay against the run, but they're pretty damn good against the pass. And Trevor Lawrence each week looks like he gets a little bit better, makes a fewer mistakes. Even looks
they're running the ball a little bit now, a little bit too. I think that's helping him out. ETN finally played well.
100%. Some things change, some things don't. Running the ball in the NFL successfully is always a good thing, no matter what they change the rules to. So be very careful about this Jacksonville team. To me, they're similar in a way to Houston. They're not as good at defense, but they're significantly better offense. And if they're hitting on all cylinders as this season comes to an end, they're dangerous. Because I don't care what the laundry looks like. If you got guys that get after the quarterback and they do, you're dangerous. Because you can stop drives, you can cause turnovers, you can cause fumbles. Lots of funny things happen when there's a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
Yeah. There's life again. I feel like every other week we're saying this. The Pittsburgh Steelers 27, the Ravens 22. This game for a long time looked like nobody wanted to win this game either. I mean, I feel like this is going on around the league. The placement's so bad. Rodgers played well in this game. Lamar is still not Lamar at all. He is, and now he can't throw anymore either. Not that he was always a great thrower.
One of his interceptions was
my God. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Something's going on, man.
Derrick Henry, it looked like it came to a screeching halt abruptly there. He cannot get past the first line of defense anymore. On the other side of it, their defense is better than it was early on, but it's still like they can't get to the quarterback. Dude, you can't get to Rodgers sitting back there like a lame duck.
Although he took off and ran for a touchdown, looked 10 years younger.
That Achilles finally loosened up on him.
2.5 years later. Look, how did you start this off with life or death? With
just some life.
I don't know if Steelers came to life or if the Ravens are just dead. Look, it always kind of comes back to what Parcells used to say. You are what your record says you are. That's like the people talking about Kansas City, the people talking about the Ravens or the Steelers. It's like, dude, you are who you are.
Chiefs and Ravens are both 6-7, right?
Correct.
And Pittsburgh 7-6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's bananas is that even Cincinnati is kind of still technically in the race for that division because the division is so bad. So you are what you are, dude. Like this idea that at this point you're turning it around. Why and how? Why would you turn it around and how are you doing it? It's the same. The three teams we just mentioned, your problems are the same problems that we noticed in week 2, in week 3, in week 7. They're the same problems. Why is it suddenly going to change now? You know what I'm saying? Is Lamar suddenly going to be super healthy and a defense get great? I don't think so.
No.
So, you know, I think at this point they are who they are. I think the Steelers are okay, but they got rough stretch down the end here. So I don't even know who's going to win that damn division. I wouldn't want to have to predict that.
No, me neither.
Yeesh.
Green Bay 28, Chicago 21. Chicago played a lot better in this game than I thought they were going to.
Absolutely.
Slow start, great second half. Caleb still, to me, is not the guy that Ben Johnson wants. He's too like a wild ass hair, as you say, to quote my partner. He's not structured. Like when he had the lines rolling with Goff was so structured. Everything was out on time. Back step, ball was out, boom. Caleb does that, looks, and then he does this whirly bird round shit. He does it like 6 times a game. It drives me crazy. And he gets out of it most of the time.
I'll let you finish, then
But you know that's when he gets older, like Lamar. We're watching with Lamar. That's going to come in real quick. And plus, and you got and Green Bay has a good front four as anybody else in the league. Houston, Denver, blah blah blah. But and Caleb's got weapons all over the place. Man. They run the ball well. Their defense is good enough to keep in games. They're good, but they're not going to make any noise in the playoffs, I don't think. But it's a great first year. But watching him play football, and that's what I said to you a couple weeks ago. Watching the red zone and watching a full game with him, it's two totally different things.
I was just going to say what I would call him is a Sports Center quarterback. Because you watch Sports Center and you see Caleb Williams and you're like, holy shit, man. He's phenomenal. And then you look at the stats and you're like 52% completion percentage for 180 yards. It's like, oh shit. And what that really equates to, I'm gonna get the bad stuff out of the way. All the problems that he has had, he still has. He's a little slow on reads. He's a little slow on letting it rip. And his footwork sometimes is a little meh, right? So you're getting off the slow starts because of that. And especially early in games, he's trying. I will give him some credit. He's trying to stay within the structure, but that's why they get off to these really slow starts, right? They're always behind, even against the Giants, against whoever they play. They seem like Minnesota. They just fall behind, and then they have to catch up. Washington, fall behind, have to catch. So they're always just playing catch up, right? I will say this, though. He is a baller. Caleb Williams is a baller. Number one, he has a goddamn cannon for an arm, okay? And he has a kind of killer instinct in the fourth quarter that most guys don't have. What I mean by that, it's like he was playing poorly or average for most of the game. And then the last 3 drives of the day, they look absolutely unstoppable. Like even the last drive when they go down to the end zone, he throws the interception. Dude, they went the length of the field. And it was like the 3rd time that quarter. So what he's able to do on the run, what he's able to do late in games, I'm telling you, this is an intangible that most coaches will say, give me that, and I will try my best to fix the rest. I don't know that it's fixable. I just don't know that he has that processing in him. But boy, man, he's clutch as shit. He really does not have any fear late in games. It's almost like he needs to have that same feeling of let it rip earlier in the game. You hear it from Ben Johnson in his post-game press conferences and then during the week press conferences. He's not ripping Caleb, but he's giving you a small taste of like what he's seeing without shredding his guy.
Right.
You know? And so he's not completely satisfied. And why would he be? Because he's not really running the offense. And at the end of games, it just becomes backyard football. And he's such a good athlete with such a good arm and so fearless that he makes it happen most of the time. So that side of it, man, that's hard to find. Like that's really hard to find because what do we always call that time? That's the time of the game when the assholes pucker up and guys really tense up and it's hard to make it happen. He never has a problem making it happen late in the game. And at that point in the game, if you're Ben Johnson, you're just looking at your guy and you're saying, hey, man, go make plays, whatever. Do what you got to do. So that's what you're seeing. He's trying to play within structure for the first 2.5 to 3 quarters. And then when you have no choice, then he just does what he does. And to your point, to end this part, is like, that's just not sustainable.
Right.
It's just not sustainable because sooner or later, the NFL catches up with you and you're not going to be able to do that. And you're going to have to play within the system. So, but I just have to say, he doesn't get sacked nearly as much as he did last year. And golly, man, in the fourth quarter, he is exciting a player. He is as exciting a quarterback as we've seen.
Agreed. Oh, this is music to my ears. Houston 20, Kansas City 10. They look like dog shit once again. I don't understand. You know, Vegas keeps putting them as favorites and favorites and favorites and favorites and favorites. And not only do they don't cover, they don't win.
Yep.
Mahomes looks the worst I've ever seen him look.
I couldn't agree more. On 42% completion percentage, 3 interceptions. I don't care how bad your offensive line is. I don't care how bad your receivers are. That's bad.
Kelsey's cooked.
If that was Caleb Williams or if that was Shedeur Sanders, or if that was, and I know he gets
whatever, yeah.
I know Mahomes get the benefit of that, of course, but he's had multiple games like this now this year, sub 50% completion percentage.
No doubt.
I think one was 48 and this one was 42. Multiple games with multiple interceptions. It's funny, man. What do we always talk about in football compared to every other sport? Momentum is a bitch. And when things start going the wrong way, they really start going the wrong way. And it is really hard to turn that ship around, man. It's like a goddamn oil tanker and you're trying to turn it in a lagoon. Like it doesn't friggin' happen. And they just can't seem to turn. I saw an interview. Kelsey was on with his brother doing their little podcast. And you could see the look on his face. He's got no answers. He's like, I thought we just, lock in, work on the fundamentals, get to it, do this. Nothing's working. And I'm like, wow, that's a guy that's lost right now.
Because it's always been that way. And this year,
they always found a way. Yeah. It's wild, man. It's wild.
He's cooked. He's
dropping passes.
I think they thought Xavier Worthy would be better, but he's very small.
He's not even a deep threat.
He can't get off the line of scrimmage.
What the hell?
If you knock him off his route, and then you can see Mahomes looking at him, and he's looking to go deep, and then he's out of bounds, and then Mahomes is scrambling, and he's sacked because the line's not good. So their run game's shit. Their defense isn't as stout. Their defense hangs in games, but they're not as stout as they used to be. It looks like they're going home early this year, man. One more loss, and that'll probably wrap it up for them. But
I think one more loss, and they're almost mathematically out. I think they have, from what I heard today, they have to run the table, and then they need
help. They need
help.
Chargers to lose, or they need.
Now, the funny thing is the help. The help that they need is more likely than them running the table. Which is crazy to think with Kansas City.
Well, they also play the Chargers, Broncos, and someone else that they need help with, I think, too.
They can't win the division. They need the Chargers to lose. Now, the Chargers are so banged up. Herbert's got a broken hand. Could they mess up and have a few bad weeks? They sure can. They need I forget what they need.
The Colts are going to get Colts are fucked now, so they're done.
Yeah, so the things that they need to happen outside of the building are not that out of pocket.
That's why I'm not celebrating yet, because it's so
what's
possible.
crazy is they ain't running a table, dude. There's no way. That's not happening. You are who you are.
Speaking of the Chargers and Herbert, Chargers 22, Eagles 19. This game was so ugly. I don't know how long you stayed up for it. By the way, Herbert's going to get himself really hurt. I know he's tough playing through it, and I know Harbaugh's a gamer. He loves it. Dude, he doesn't protect himself. He hasn't for his whole career. No. That's why he's always got this situation.
I know.
And as a Bronco fan, I don't love the Chargers, but I have a thing for Jimmy. But Herbert's always going to be that guy that's the almost guy. I think for one reason or the other. I just don't think it's there. I don't know how the Eagles lost this game. To be honest, with you.
I don't agree with you only because I think with Jim Harbaugh there, that's the guy that's going to get him over the top because he's just too talented. So you put a great head coach
dude, he's never healthy.
I think they'll get there, but you're absolutely right. There's an issue, but there's very much an issue with the Eagles right now, man.
Oh my God!
Because Herbert, just statistically, he had a terrible game, but he also came up clutch when it mattered. Hurts, on the other hand, historically bad game, did something that's never happened in the history of the sport, throw an interception, recover a fumble, and then fumble that. Two turnovers in the same play by a quarterback.
That
Never
was nuts.
happened before. Fantastic. Threw some really bad interceptions, and you got A.J. Brown dropping multiple passes. This is a team that looks
he's not barking that much this week, is he?
No, he's not. Of course not. They're so discombobulated. I would call it chaos. It's not chaos. It's more of like they're lost. Like they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Like, what do we do? And this is where the critics of Sirianni have a little something here, because that's the job of the head coach. Now, we can sit here and say, well, Andy Reid isn't pulling the right strings either. Andy Reid has got 3 Super Bowls, 5 Super Bowl appearances, 7 straight AFC championship games. You don't get to talk about Andy Reid negatively at all.
No.
At all. Okay? He's the
not
first.
Not my presence, you don't. No.
He's top 5 coach of all time, and it's not debatable. Sirianni has been in this exact situation. This is the second time now. And he's so coordinated. It seems so coordinator dependent. And then the other side of it is the real sexy talk about offensive line. They just are not the same team at the offensive line, and then they can't run. I love Jalen Hurts. We both love Jalen Hurts, but he is very dependent on things being a certain way. He needs to have a running game, and he needs to have a good offensive line, because he's best with the play action pass and linebackers having to respect the potential for a running game. And that's just not there right now.
Do you think Sirianni is better somewhere else? Or you think it's just the way he coaches? Do you think the style? I know the fan base is more nuts than a lot of fan bases are.
Sirianni?
And that's where the criticism comes from, for the most part. But now it's starting to be like us and like other guys in the media are starting to be like, something's off here. Like, do you think if he was in?
He has his shortcomings. So I think there's an argument to be made that he's a perfect fit for Philly, because he's a little off. And let's be honest, Philly is the kind of town that they're a little off. Like, they're a little off center. You know what I mean? And he's a little off. Like, a little. I don't consider him like one of the smarter coaches in the league.
No.
But I don't know that you have to be one of the smarter coaches in the league. I'm just saying, like, do I think he has a knack for keeping guys on track? When they're doing well, keeping the train going well. When they're feeling good, keeping the train going, keeping the feeling going good. Yeah. Do I think?
But I think that works in both ways. I think when it's going bad, he can't get it back on the track.
Clearly hasn't been able to get it back on track. Okay. And again, you know what we don't know in sports media and stuff like that is what goes on during the week in the office, in the locker room, on the field. Has he been having conversations with A.J. Brown? Does he have conversations with Jalen Hurts? Is he bringing multiple guys into a room and saying, hey, man, we got to figure this shit out right now. Let's hash this all out.
Right.
Do we want to win football games, or do we want to, build stats?
We'll be friends and fucking, and we'll be.
What do we want to do here? Okay. I don't know that he did that. I don't know that he didn't do that. But he definitely has flaws. But the other side of it is really fucking hard to argue with a guy that's been to the Super Bowl twice in the last 2 years, won one of them, and his quarterback really probably could make an argument should have been the MVP of both of those games. So,
yep.
I don't know. He's maybe one of the most unique in history when you think about it. He gets almost no respect universally, but has been to 66% of the last 3 Super Bowls and won one of them. Like, it's just weird. It's just weird. So, yeah, if you're asking me, like, if he were to get fired, do I think he gets another head coaching job? I don't know.
I don't want him at Michigan. You have anything else?
No.
NFL top 5. I will start 5-1. At 5, I got the Bills. We just said it before. You got to put them there. You got to put them there. It's just not very pretty. But 9-4, they're there. Because, them head-to-head in this week, we'll see. The big game. Patriots, we'll see.
It's huge.
Number 4 have the Green Bay Packers. I think they earned a spot here. They just took the lead over. It's funny. Bears went from 1-7 in the NFC playoff picture.
Isn't that crazy?
One game.
One road loss by a couple inches. You go from first overall to the last place in the playoffs.
Packers have a good defense. Love does just enough. Good run game. Tough one this week. Not my number 3 team, the Denver Broncos. Another win. The shadiest cover of all time in that game. I don't know if you saw the ending of that game. The Raiders, what a wacky
Oh yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Oh my God. But their defense just suffocates
Backdoor,
you.
baby.
I just need another corner. That Riley Moss is so bad. They have the best corner on one side and the worst corner on the other side, and somehow they make it work.
Because you can use a safety.
They drafted a kid from Texas. Let him play. What the fuck does it matter? He can't be any worse.
You'd be surprised.
And 2-1, I have the NFC West, the Juggernauts, and 2, I got Seattle, and 1, I have the Rams. And I think they both speak for themselves at this point.
I have more or less the same teams. Just
sorry, honorable mention for me.
Okay.
Or you want to wait? You want to wait on honorable mention?
Let's wait on honorable mentions.
Sorry.
At 5, I have the Bills for exactly the same reason. I just don't have. I can't count them out. Josh Allen is Clark Kent, and when he puts on his uniform, he's Superman. It just is what it is, and Superman is the most powerful superhero in whether it's DC or Marvel. So Superman has to be in the top 5. I have Denver at 4 and the Packers at 5. So I just flipped the 2 of them.
I was at 3. You mean?
Packers at 3. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think it's mainly because I just trust Jordan Love a little more than Bo Nix at this point, although I like Bo Nix a lot. Jordan Love year after year, and this is probably more McVay than Jordan Love. Not McVay, LaFleur than Jordan Love. They just always seem to round into form in December.
Yeah.
And that's a sign of a good coach, but he is a good quarterback. And when he's dealing, man, he's really fucking good. And then I just have the next 2, same as you, just reversed. I just think Seattle with that defense is elite, and I have the Rams second. That game against Carolina bothers me. I know it's just they laid an egg, but it bothers me. It bothers me. If you did that on the road, was that on the road?
No, it wasn't Carolina.
It was in Carolina? Yeah. You can't do that. Are you sure? I think it was at home.
No, I'm positive.
Okay. Regardless, I think Seattle, I look back at that Seattle Rams game, and look, they're going to play this again, so we're going to find out anyway. I just look back at that game and think how bad they played, and they were a few feet on a field goal away from winning the damn game. I just don't expect them to play that bad again. So, I think they're slightly better. I think the defense is slightly better. It's fast as shit. So, your honorable mentions?
I got the Patriots, the Jaguars, the Bears, and the Texans.
Okay, I do have the Patriots at 6, so this weekend we'll have – the things are either going to stay or we're going to flip those because you can't beat the Bills twice in the same season and tell me that the Bills are better than them.
I hear you.
Not going to happen.
I hear you.
I have Detroit at number 7, and they have a really tough one this week to hold on to that position.
Yeah.
And I actually have San Francisco at number 8. They're sneaky dangerous right now, dude. They're 9-4. We sleep on them because of all the injuries they had earlier in the season. Again, good coaching. Shanahan kept them alive, kept them plugging away. Mac Jones deserves a lot of credit for keeping their season viable. And now they're sitting there at 9-4. They got the Bears coming up later. They got games that they can win. I don't know that they still could actually technically win the division, and nobody's talking about them. I think they're worthy of being mentioned. Also known as an honorable mention.
I just added a third game on my betting, so you can keep your games.
Okay, cool.
NFL Week 15. Say it ain't so, Peter.
It's winding down.
1 month left. We're not talking about tonight's game because it's an absolute grease fire. So we'll go right to Sunday. The Chargers at the Chiefs. Can they put them out of their misery?
I don't know, just because, and I think
I know. We just talked about and we still don't know because I feel the same way. I don't get it.
It's more about, I don't know if it's more about the Chargers. The Chargers are so banged up. And it's like, how long can you just duct tape this shit together? I don't know.
Going on the road now.
Go on the road. You just had a tough win, a tough game. It's just a big ask. But they have a really good defense, and Kansas City sucks on offense. So, I don't know. I think you're in the same.
What, 5.5?
Yeah. What did I see here? I saw 4.5. It could be up to 5.5. I don't know. Geez. I think you're in the same boat with me. It's hard no matter what to count out Patrick Mahomes. Reid. The defense is still good. It's not great, but it's still a good defense. You look at the games they're losing, 20-10. It's not like he got blown out. It's you give up 20 points in the NFL, you kind of expect to win the game. It's just that the problem is they average about 18. So, I don't know. I don't know.
Buffalo at New England. We just talked about this game a little bit, a little preview. Patriots won in Buffalo. on a Sunday night a couple weeks back, or I guess it was like a couple months back now. And I think only New England's only got better from that point, and I think Buffalo's been a roller coaster ride.
What New England has done more than anything is they've had at least one quality win since going down to Tampa.
Yeah.
Look, the reality is New England has had the easiest schedule in the NFL so far this season. And does that matter? Yes, it matters. Like, it matters. You're not playing stiff competition. But guess what? Buffalo hasn't exactly had a difficult schedule either. I think they've had like the 25th or 24th most difficult. I think New England going down to Tampa and winning that game on the road against a winning team, against a team that has won their division 4 straight years, against a team that really kind of needed the win. I think that's the kind of thing psychologically that makes them say, all right, this is for real. I think just like Chicago going into Philly and winning that game after beating 6 straight sub 500 teams, I think it's the same thing. It was like, all right, no, we're not just posers here. We're the real deal. And Drake May just looks years, not a year, years ahead of schedule. The throws he's making, these are not dink and dunks. These are not just let it rip for bombs. Like, these are real reads and real throws. If they win this game, and I'm not saying they are, but if they win this game, they're very freaking dangerous, man. My head, I think, is telling me New England, and my heart, I think, is telling me Buffalo. And I'm not sure which one is right.
I'll tell you in a little while. Tough game. You mentioned it before. For the Lions at the Rams.
This is a significantly more important game for the Lions, because I think 100%. If they lose, their path is so narrow, if at all.
I think they're cooked.
Yeah, because they'll be in third place. They'll be 7-6 at that point.
7-6 with the Packers and Bears ahead of you, and the loaded NFC West as well. It's gonna be hard to get all those teams through.
It's gonna be really hard. So it's a must-win for them, and that's not exactly the kind of team you want to be playing against, and a must-win. Rams are just offensively. I know they're a good defensive team. Don't get me wrong, but offensively right now, man, Jesus Christ, they can do whatever they want. They can throw it. They can run it. They just do whatever they want.
They're so balanced, man. They
Blake
really
Corum is playing really well.
Man. I'm happy for him. I wish he was on a different team, but I'm happy for him.
It's kind of good. It's like you're not getting worn out. You get your two-headed monster kind of thing. They're good. McVay is just an excellent coach. I heard a statistic today that they run more 3 tight end offensive plays than anybody in the league. It's up to 40%. 40% of their plays they're running with 3 tight ends, which they're a very good team. So I think that's a hell of an ask, mainly because Detroit's defense, I just don't know that they could slow down that Rams offense, man. I want them to do well. I just can't see it.
I have something to say about that game in a little while.
I think you're copping out here.
Well, I'm going to say my good stuff for the bets. I wrote this game down because I have to. If Phillip Rivers plays quarterback, this has to be the Colts at the Seahawks. I think there's a realistic shot that he plays quarterback on Sunday, Peter.
I think there's a very realistic shot. And I think look, did we get word yet on whether Riley Leonard is healthy?
He's not healthy. That's why they signed Phillip Rivers, too.
I just mean, like, has he been cleared to play?
I have not heard that.
Okay, so as of this Thursday afternoon, we don't know that Riley Leonard even can play.
Right.
Okay. I will be keeping an eye on this game. Now, we might be keeping an eye off this game very early. I don't know.
Possible.
But how do you not, man? Whether it's a train wreck or the fireworks display at the 4th of July, you got to watch. So it's like Instagram, right? Like, I love the people fails on Instagram, just watching people just like trip and fall or split their pants or whatever. If that's what's going to happen, then I'll watch that too. But I'm hoping he plays, and I'm hoping he does really well. And it'll be a really cool story. It just is a cool story. We're in the stories business.
I'm 4 years younger than him, and I wake up sometimes with pain. I don't know why is my left ankle hurt?
But let me ask you this: if Denver called you right now and said we need you to play safety this weekend, would you do it?
I gotta tell you, yes, I would probably.
Yeah, of course you would. Me too.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's smart.
No. Who said anything about smart? I don't think it's smart for Philip Rivers to do this either. But whether it's 44 years old or the fact that you haven't played in the NFL in 5 years.
Well, you know why he's doing it, right? 10 kids in the house. He's got to get the fuck out of there. There's no way he can. I mean, let's be honest there. 2 Mile High, probably a game of the week or part 2.0, 3.0. There's a lot of good games this week. Now I'm thinking about it. But the Green Bay Packers at the Broncos. Broncos are home dogs in this game. I can see why. They haven't lost in like 2 months. Packers playing very well, very balanced. Again, bad corner on the one side for the Broncos. But the Packers play a weird game. Like the first half, they were dominant in that game. Then the whole third quarter, three quarters out, and maybe to the fourth, they go 3 and out twice, dude. It's weird. The Broncos need to keep running the football. Like with RJ Harvey now starting to come alive, running the football, those like little like rollouts with Bo. Get the defense after fucking Love. I think this game's going to go right down to the end. I really do, on one side or the other. I think it's going to be a really good game, 23-20, 27-24, something like that.
I could totally see it. You got two teams playing very well. Green Bay's probably playing their best football of the season. Denver always plays to their competition. If they're playing good teams, they play really good. If they're playing mediocre teams, they play good enough to win. If they're playing bad teams, they win.
The shit out of you.
And it's closer than you'd like, but they win. And they both have good defenses. I think this is a fascinating game. I don't know what the weather's going to be like. I don't know that it matters that much because both teams are used to playing in the cold. But this is an interesting game for different reasons than, like, say, Kansas City Chargers. Like the Kansas City Chargers game is more like who can survive because they're hurt. They're both hurting so much in so many areas, whether it's just shortcomings or injuries. This is the exact opposite. Like both teams are kind of at their peak. Denver's got a 10-game winning streak?
Yeah.
A 10-game winning streak. Green Bay's probably playing their best football season right now. Like this is the kind of game you want to watch because you're getting the best. Like that's what makes this game so cool, is that you're getting the best playing head to head. Like really, really cool. Fun game.
Miami at Pittsburgh. I just saw something on the bottom line. I don't know if you saw TJ Watt's in the hospital for lung.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a situation where Justin Herbert got his first start with the Chargers when
punctured lung.
Yeah, because it was a medical procedure that they were doing, and they freaking messed up or something, because it wasn't like an on-field issue; it was something in the training room. So he's actually in a goddamn hospital, which is some scary stuff. You know, I think maybe the most interesting part of this game. Where's this game taking place?
In Pittsburgh.
Yeah, the most interesting part of this game is that Miami's actually kind of playing pretty well. Like we had them dead and buried. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs, but they're definitely like a viable team.
Again, they didn't quit on this guy either. That's another example. Like they didn't.
You got to give Tua some credit. You got to give McDaniel some credit. You got to give that whole team some credit. Like, wow, hello, kept fighting, kept playing hard. Now it's kind of a bad thing because you're in draft purgatory when you're a 500 team.
I know.
And it's hard to like replace top end players with middle of the first round. But regardless, it's kind of cool to see a team because, on ESPN in the morning, they do this one thing. It's called the hot mess list, like the top 5 teams that are hot mess. And there was a point this year where they had Miami on the
back-to-back weeks.
Yeah. And you can't do it anymore. Like I think they won 4 straight games.
Well, here's what worries me for the
5 or something like that.
Yeah, I think they did win 4 straight. I think you're right.
Yeah.
They run the football, and Pittsburgh, if you watch that Bills game,
they do not run well at all. Yeah, it's a really dangerous game for Pittsburgh. This is a game you think they should win, and I would say they should win it, but Miami's playing pretty well right now, man.
And if TJ Watt doesn't play?
Well, that just changes everything, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
So very interesting game to keep your eyes on. And if Miami wins this game, it puts them at 7-7.
Did McDaniel save his job?
I don't know that you can say that just yet. And then the other part of it is like, are him and Tua like a package deal? I don't know. It kind of seemed that way from the beginning.
It seems that way, yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, Tua's playing better. McDaniels, I don't know if he dropped the hammer a little bit. He's doing better. I don't know. I think that still will be left to be seen. Because if they lose 4 straight to end the season, then no. But I would say right now, if you're the new GM, because they fired their GM, if you're the new GM, you're like, I'm going to hold off. Like if you were hired to bring someone else in, I don't know, maybe you are. Look, what if they end the season 10-7, 9-8?
I know they might.
You're gonna fire the guy? You could. Strange things have happened,
and 3/4 of the season without your best player.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I don't know that McDaniel would get hired as a head coach immediately, but he'd be a coordinator somewhere.
Oh, he'd be a staff somewhere. He'd be
He'd be an offensive coordinator somewhere in a minute. Yeah, in a minute. Head coach of Michigan.
Motherfucker. I knew that was coming. You have anything else?
I'm good.
All right. College football championship review from last Saturday. Texas Tech 34, BYU 7. Two morons on this podcast had BYU covering this game, and it looked good for a little while.
Yeah.
And then the second half, the Red Raiders just kind of blew them out. I like this team. Again, I'll give you credit. You're on this from early September. A lot of money on that defense, and it certainly shows. My goodness gracious. They're good on all three levels.
Mm-hmm.
I love their coach. I love him in interviews. He seems he knows what he's doing.
You know what's so cool about him, dude? He was a Texas high school football.
Yeah, forever. Yeah, man. Yep.
Worked his way up. Like, that's impressive.
And he turned people down for years. He didn't want to do it. And then he finally some clicked with him, and dude, hats off to him.
Yep.
I wish them the best of luck. I probably will be rooting for them. Maybe a little bit of Georgia, maybe a little bit of A&M going forward. We'll see. Sure. But it's a good story. BYU, listen, you lost to the same team twice. You got blown out by the same team twice.
And you have no other true quality wins.
Yeah, they have no really argument for the playoff.
No argument.
But listen, BYU.
Big 12 is not the Big 12 that we used to know. It's
no.
So you're not going to get, two teams just because.
Listen, 11 wins at BYU. It's a fantastic year. Fantastic.
Absolutely.
I do not.
And you got a coach that's refusing to take other jobs.
Yeah, I don't want them. That's fine.
They're a dangerous team. Yeah, they're a dangerous team.
Snooze fest in the SEC championship game. Georgia 28, Bama 7. Kirby finally a little bit gets his monkey off the back with Bama in the championship game. This game was never close. I think it was 21-0 for a long time. Gunner's playing one way, and Ty Simpson's playing the other way. I think Ty Simpson's hurt. I think I just heard a report that he's got a bad back, which is not what you want going into a playoff game. They're on the road. Yeah, they're in Norman, right? I have it written down here. Yeah, they're in Norman Friday night. Next Friday night, excuse me.
Yes.
Georgia defense clicking at the right time. You've said this the last 2 weeks. They're just coming together. Rough start early. They're giving up 20-something points a game early. But as Kirby does, he gets his shit together. He's a really good coach. I really like the guy. There's not too much hoopla around him. He's kind of a lot of business. People want to play for him. I wouldn't be shocked if they're like the new juggernaut in the SEC with Lane or not for the next 6-7 years.
Yeah. I put a video out after that game about two teams with the same record, but they're not the same.
No.
There's a difference between having a good season. Texas A&M had a really great season, and being a good team at the right time. There was a point in the season where Georgia, we looked there and we're like, boy, this is not a premier Georgia team.
They might not get in. Oh my God.
Yeah, they lost. They got beat up physically by Bama. Texas A&M, they can't lose. They're undefeated. They beat Notre Dame. They beat this one. Bada bing. They come back 30-3. They come back and win the game. Like team of destiny. Then they go lose to Texas. And Georgia, all Georgia did was just rip everyone's ass down the stretch and end up crushing, to your point. Like this game wasn't even as close as the score. This was complete domination. I don't know that I think Alabama had negative rushing yards, or maybe they had 8 rushing, something small. They couldn't run the ball. This is a team that's rounding into shape just at the right time. They're healthy. They're physical. They're fast. They're a defensive coach. They have a defensive coach, and their defense is playing its best of the season right now. You're absolutely right. Gunner looks fantastic. He looks like a legit quarterback in college football, one of the top guys. There's no doubt about it. Very, very dangerous team. Georgia's one of the teams that I say that team can win a national championship. That team can go on a 3-game run. Would it have to be 3 games or 2 games? 3 games.
3 games.
To win a national title. They definitely can. They've been there before. They're experienced. This is not new to them. Very dangerous team. One of the top teams, no doubt.
The Duke Blue Devils stun the ACC world. 27, Virginia 20. This game was awful for a while. Thank God the Big Ten game was on. But then we went to it after.
It got interesting late, though.
It got really interesting late. Virginia didn't go down without a fight. And then overtime, they had a crucial mistake. Duke scores first, and they threw a pick or whatever it was. But Duke had 8-5, I guess. They were 7-5 with that win. 8-5. They beat Virginia. Virginia, phenomenal year. Tony Elliott had a good year.
Excellent, yeah.
You just can't. I know the weather wasn't great, but dude, you can't show up in a championship game having a chance to get in the playoff at Virginia and lay an egg like that. That just doesn't. That's not a good sign. That's just not good.
No, and it's one of those things where I say the weather's bad for both teams. So somehow Duke found a way to make it work, and you didn't. Virginia kind of had this style of play all year. Chris Canty on ESPN said they like to play with their food.
Virginia guy.
Yeah, he was a graduate here. Yeah, which is true. They tend to play to their competition, and that's fine as long as you're winning. You step up and started the downfall for Florida State. I think they beat Clemson, and they had some other nice wins that you're like, a little surprised. They beat Louisville, kind of a surprise.
Ooh.
So this is, but you can only do that for so long until it catches up with you, and it caught up with them. Kudos to Duke. Look, we can talk about the college football playoffs. You win your conference, you should be in. If you in the group of four, the four major conferences, you win your conference, you should be in. I think that's relatively simple. Now you can say, well, Duke had a bad record. Then the problem you had there is with the ACC's system for coming up with your championship game. That's your problem. I don't know. Does the Big Ten have divisions anymore, or do they just? No. That's what you need to do. You get rid of the divisions. It's just
does the ACC still have divisions?
They still have your divisions. I think that's why Duke and not Miami. Why wouldn't Miami? Miami had a significantly better record than Duke.
Well, listen, you can't.
So you get rid of that. You just have your top two teams playing the playoffs. Why is this so difficult?
I know you like the conference games. I don't know. I think it's
and you know what? This game actually makes my point of why you maintain conference championships. Duke wins the conference championship. They don't even get the chance to play in the playoffs. They get to hang a banner that says they won an ACC championship.
Yeah, but that just goes against your other point. We're saying conference championship should go to the playoff. So I
think they should.
Well, not at 8-5, you're not.
I think they should. You win your conference, you should go to the playoffs.
Well, hopefully this is just a one-off because,
it totally is. If you look at how things went,
Georgia Tech fucking went down the stretch.
But here's the thing: even if you're let's just say Indiana. I don't know that this is going to continue forever for Indiana. It'll continue forever for Ohio State because they're Ohio State, Michigan's Michigan, and USC is USC. Oregon has Phil Knight money. But if you're Indiana, you just hung a Big Ten championship banner. When's the last time that happened? 1942, I think they said.
Right.
That's a big deal.
No, I guess
it's nice to be the number one team in the country and have a chance at a national championship. There's no guarantee one team is going to win a national championship. You can have 4 teams. And really 9 teams in Division I, which could make the playoffs, winning James Madison won a conference championship. Tulane won a conference championship. I just think it's nice. I think it's nice. And I look and I say, what do NFL teams, what do they think, what do they look at as their first priority? Now, it's because of how the playoffs go, but what do you want to do first? You want to win your division. You need to win your division, okay? And I just think it's the same thing here. It's a great goal to have, hey, I'm in a Big Ten. Hey, I'm in ACC. Hey, I'm in the Big 12. I want to win our division. Did you see how happy? You would have thought Texas Tech already won the national championship. Right. Did you see the way they celebrated after that game? So I think it would be a shame because it's not just about the national championship. These are college kids, most of them not going to go pro. That's why I'm so disappointed with teams that aren't playing in bowl games. If I was a senior on Kansas State right now, I'd be a little pissed off.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I had one more game as a senior. I'm never going to play football again the rest of my life. I thought I had one more game to lay it on the line. And we're not going? You suck. That would piss me off. I can't imagine there's that many guys that were like, I don't want to play another game. What?
Big Ten championship, Indiana 13, Ohio State 10. I'll cut you off because we're going to go with that in a second. But yeah, man, Ohio State, bad, crucial mistakes, the wrong time. Field goal kicker misses a chip shot. I tell you, Mendoza.
Indiana's field goal kicker missed not a chip shot, but he missed a field goal that should have been made also.
But it wasn't in the fourth quarter at the end of the game.
No, but I'm just saying,
yeah. I tell you, man, Mendoza doesn't do anything spectacular to me, but he makes some great fucking clutch throws.
He had some big throws. He had some big-time pro throws, and he's clutch. He's a gamer.
And he got his ass kicked for most of that game, too.
First of all, first freaking play at a game.
That kid
he's dead.
That kid, why were, dude, I'm watching with my buddy. Could we double this cocksucker? What are we doing, Indiana? What are we doing?
Yeah. One of the things I had said leading into this game was that Indiana's defense is better than people realize. And I was kind of going off what they did against Oregon. Like, how do you? I've never seen a team go into Oregon and I'll say dominate Oregon the way they did, and they did. They shut them down, and that was at the time that was one of the most high-powered offenses in the country. I'm really impressed. Cignetti is a really, really good coach. I'm telling you right now, Ohio State is significantly more talented overall than Indiana.
Oh yeah,
I think Indiana has a slightly better quarterback. I think Indiana has a very good overall defense. But if you're just going to go player for player, come on, man. Ohio State's better. Cignetti's a good coach. Mendoza is a gamer and a big time, like a big play quarterback. Like he makes big plays when it's necessary. He's like ridiculously likable. Like he just has this like electric smile, you know. He's kind of still has this feel like he's still just a kid.
Yeah.
Even though he's probably going to be the first pick in the NFL draft. There's this kid mentality, and it's hard not to like. It's very magnetic.
Does he win the Heisman?
I think he probably had his Heisman game here. I think that finalized it probably. And the other side of it is, if not him, then who?
Yeah, I know.
Pavia,
Love, like, yeah, I don't know, like.
What were their big moments?
You can't give it a saying. He beat him head to head, so he's fucking fourth, right? Like,
yeah, I don't see it. So I just don't. And it was just a weird year where there wasn't anybody. Really, the whole season there wasn't anybody that just like kind of took it. So
it was like a year. It was like a year, like months, right? So like Mateer, Oklahoma was like September, and then and then Dante Moore was like October, and then Mendoza started coming on the scene, and then Julian Love, they don't make the playoff, and then he played nobody after the first week too. So it's a
I will say if Mateer didn't get hurt, I think he would have been the only one, at least the way things were going.
Right.
Because he was kind of like a darling, you know, he kind of had this Brett Favre feel about him, gunslinger feel about him. You know, winning against Michigan put him like right in the limelight. And then he hurts his thumb, misses a game or two, and then comes back and doesn't play good right away. And
right.
It hurt him. But yeah, I think it's probably Mendoza because I just can't picture anybody else taking over that spot from him.
All right, so
I want to say this one more thing about this game, just from a viewer's standpoint. Most times a 13-10 game is not like a fun game to watch. I don't feel that way about this one. I feel like this one was almost like a Major League Baseball playoff game where it's 1-1 going into the 7th or 8th inning, and you're like, shit, there just was a lot of tension from start to finish.
Yeah,
I think most viewers probably recognize that Ohio State, just even as you're watching the game, Ohio State was more talented, and you're like, can Indiana hang on? Can Indiana hang on? Just hang in there, baby. Just hang in there, baby. Let's see what we can do. Just keep hanging in there. And they did. It was kind of like the little engine that could, and then they did. And that's why the score was less important than the action. You know?
Yeah. College football bracket. We'll preview the 4 games next week, but the buys as they are. Indiana got the 1, Ohio State got the 2, Georgia got the 3, and Texas Tech got the 4. The 5-12 game is Oregon hosting James Madison. The 6-11 game is Tulane at Ole Miss. The 10-7 game is Miami at A&M. And the 8-9 game is 8 Alabama at 9 Oklahoma. So Oklahoma and Miami are the Friday night game, 8 o'clock kick.
Do you have any – I'm sorry, go ahead.
And then Miami and A&M is noon. And then 3:30 Tulane Ole Miss, and night game is James Madison, Oregon. Go ahead.
Do you have any issues with the rules as they are currently constituted? And when I say that, what I mean to say, the top 5 highest rated conference champions have to be in the play. It's a non-negotiable. And the reality is Duke was not ranked high enough. Tulane and James Madison were ranked higher than them. So with the rules as they're currently constituted, let's try that again.
Hi.
Do you have any issues with who's in and who's out?
So I'm glad that you said as the rules are the way they are. So with that being said, no.
That's how it works. Yeah.
However,
we
got to stop with this shit. I don't want to see James Madison lose 42-10 at Oregon on Saturday night.
I couldn't agree with you more.
I don't want to see.
Oh, by the way, James Madison is a really good football team.
Yeah.
For where they play.
Yes.
This is not the NCAA 60-team field of 64. This is not the basketball March Madness. This is football, dude. Size and speed matters.
We need a bracket for them. Tulane.
I was thinking about that.
I mean,
a group of 5 tournament.
I am no Notre Dame guy here, but they're probably the 5th best team in the country the way they've been playing. Like,
Based on what? What are you basing that on? And I say that because of this.
I mean,
Look at who they
scoreboard?
played.
I mean,
Look
I
at
get
who
it.
they played. Syracuse. What? Go ahead.
So is James Madison and so is Tulane. Who have they played?
No. But as the rules are currently,
but I'm over that already. Yeah, like that's what. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not going to compare Notre Dame to James Madison.
Does Notre Dame make the playoff better?
Oh, 100%.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
Your argument is more for what we've been talking about in the past, which is some kind of a point system.
Yeah.
Where you earn points based on who you play and whether
even to your point, they might not have accrued that much.
And that's my point.
Yeah.
I think Vanderbilt, frankly, has a better argument than Notre Dame because they played a tougher schedule. And correct me if I'm wrong. Does Vandy have 2 losses?
Yeah.
So you have the same record as Notre Dame, and you went through the SEC gauntlet. I think actually Vanderbilt has a better argument than Notre Dame. Who did Notre Dame beat? USC, who is currently rated 20th?
And Pitt.
Pitt is nothing. Syracuse is nothing.
I'm just giving you the game.
Boston College, who cares? Navy, am I supposed to be impressed with that?
Stanford?
Louisville? Stanford? You basically played an ACC conference schedule and you lost to the teams. The only teams you lost to are the teams that are consequential. You lost to A&M and you lost to Miami. Well, they only lost by combined 4. You lost.
Yeah, but you know what's funny too?
What are we basing this? I just think we're basing this. If this team wasn't called Notre Dame, if this was Michigan State, if this was Florida State, and Florida State lost to Texas A&M, lost to Miami, but beat Syracuse, Stanford, Louisville, whoever, Navy, we'd be like, bro, no.
So here's what's also funny. If they lose their second game mid-November, this isn't even a conversation. Just because they ran off 10 in a row, it gives people a weird eye test.
But it was 10 in a row against garbage.
No, you're right.
And I hear these people make the argument, well, it was the first game of the season. Okay. If Cincinnati loses the first game of the season, doesn't that count for whether or not they make the playoffs? We don't weigh when they lost. What's your record? Yeah. Your record has to be. Look, what do we talk about all the time? Strength of schedule, strength of your opponents. What does it start with?
Wins.
What's the first thing you look at? Your record.
Yeah.
Yep. What the hell else would we start with? And here's why I say that. If it was more just about strength of schedule and quality wins, then Texas actually has the best argument to be in, significantly over Notre Dame. Texas beat Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and Vanderbilt. Dude, 2 teams that are in the playoffs and one that has an argument for the playoffs. Notre Dame doesn't have any leg to stand on. And here's what's even worse. They probably had every opportunity under the sun to be in the ACC. Why? Because they're in the ACC for every other fucking sport. And if they were in the ACC for football, then they would have been in the conference championship game and they would have been guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. But no, here's why. And no, but I love our Notre Dame friends, right? But let us be perfectly clear as to why Notre Dame is not in the ACC for football. It comes down to one word: greed.
Yeah.
They want the money. They want the money for being independent. They don't want to share playoff revenue with the rest of the conference or share bowl money with the rest of the conference. It comes down to greed. So here's what happens. You get to keep your money. You get to keep your NBC money. But because your schedule sucks, you're out. Tough shit.
Hold on.
I don't feel bad at all for Notre Dame.
So, excellent segue. Notre Dame left out of the playoff. And now they took their ball and went home because now they're not going to play in a bowl game. And other teams said no as well, but no one as popular as Notre Dame. Kansas State, Kansas, Iowa State, Florida State, Auburn, Rutgers, Central Florida, Temple, Baylor.
What?
Yeah, so they're trying to find 5 and 7 teams to fill some gaps now. And all those motherfuckers said no. So you think it gets worse, dude? How about this? 2026 Notre Dame schedule. Excuse me. Wisconsin at Lambeau Field. Great. Wisconsin's terrible. Rice, Michigan State, at Purdue, at North Carolina, Navy. All right, they play Miami at home. Versus Boston College, SMU, Stanford, at Syracuse, USC.
Like, where are your quality wins?
Dude, they only play 3 true road games.
I think there's a worse scenario that is building here because their AD, is it Pete Bavacqua?
Pete
Bavacqua. He has gone completely scorched earth. He went off on the college football playoff committee. He went off on the ACC as if the ACC isn't supposed to advocate for their own teams. How dare you push for Miami?
Right.
What? Here's what's going to happen. I'm telling you, I think this is going to start happening. Teams are going to start saying, watch what happens if some of those ACC teams like Stanford or SMU or Syracuse start saying, you know what? We're out. We're not playing you. We're going to pick up one more conference game because here's the new rule. One of the new rules coming in next year, I think, is you have to have 9 conference games. So you can't overload your schedule with Western Kentucky.
But they have the fucking bullshit. I think they only got to play 5, right? Because they're not a true member.
What's that?
They have to play 5 ACC games.
Who?
Notre Dame.
I'm not talking. I'm talking about the ACC teams.
Oh, I got you.
They're going to start. They're going to turn to Notre Dame. Don't be surprised if a couple of them pull out and say, "Screw you, we're not playing this year," or maybe in the following year. And now, and why would USC continue to play Notre Dame?
Right, exactly.
And screw yourself. Why would Miami continue to play Notre Dame? Notre Dame is hurting themselves by being so goddamn loud and such like little babies. You don't deserve to be in the playoffs, and you're acting like a-holes. And teams are going to start saying, you know what? I'm killing a contract. We just had somebody kill a contract recently, just in the last couple days.
Yeah.
Was it? Shit. And it was 2 good teams.
Was it Texas? No.
I feel like Texas was involved, but I could be wrong. And why? Because there's new requirements that you have to play more conference games. So they're canceling outside of conference games. Why is Texas going to go play Ohio State when they can just pick up another SEC game and maybe win the SEC championship? I'm telling you, if he doesn't like kind of calm his boots a little bit, he's going to talk himself right out of anybody wanting to play Notre Dame. And you're going to be stuck with Western Kentucky.
So what do you think about these teams like skipping the bowl games? It's going down a bad path here.
I don't like it. And again, I don't really give a shit about bowl games. It's not about the bowl games. I just look at the kids. I just look at the players. You're a 22-year-old kid who's never going to play football again, and you don't get that one more game that you were kind of expecting after your regular season ended. That's the part that bothers me. I watch the bowl games because I just love football, and I'll watch college football no matter what. If Auburn was playing Boise State, I remember watching Auburn play Boise State, and Boise State won the game, and I think it cost Gus Malzahn his job. Like, I watch that stuff because I like football.
Exactly.
If the ratings aren't great, okay, but I don't look at that for the ratings. I look at it as like I want those kids to have one more chance to play a football game. I love football. You're a good friend of mine. We've been doing this podcast for 5-6 years, whatever hell it is. But if I could choke you out and go play one more game, I'd friggin' do it. Like, that's how much I miss football, okay? Like, a chance to play one more time. Football is one of the few sports you don't get to play ever again.
Yeah.
Like, you might play flag or some bullshit like that, but you don't ever get to play football again. You can play baseball, play softball, play basketball, tennis, go running, golfing, bowling. You don't get to play football again. And to take that away from seniors especially, it bothers me. That just bothers me.
I'm with you.
I don't really give a shit what Colin Cowherd thinks, what he would watch, or what people will watch. I'm not advocating it for the television networks. I advocate it for the kids, for those athletes. I remember my last game. I remember tears in my eyes my last game. Like,
yeah, me too.
It's you know, I just wish for those players that they would have one more game. Maybe hold up a cup. It could be the goddamn bacon and beans bowl, but you hold up a cup. You hold up a trophy. Don't tell me to those kids it doesn't matter, man.
It matters.
Fucking Boca Raton bowl.
It matters, dude. We're your guys. It matters.
The parents love it. The kids stop it.
Peter, would you like to gamble?
I would love to.
Mediocre week for us last week, both 2-2.
Yeah, hold and serve.
29, 17, and 2 for me. 20, 30, and 18 for you.
I don't think either of us loved our picks last week. so we held serve.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'll take
That's
that.
fair.
I'll take that. We've had both have exceptional seasons. I'm not good with math, but I think we're hovering around 60%.
Numbers are good, pal. So we are going to do the Army Navy game, and then we're going to do 3 NFLs.
You got it.
Both keeping track at home. And kudos to you telling me to pick the Army Navy game because I have my head up my ass this week for a lot of
with your Army shirt, with your West Point shirt,
with my West Point shirt. I'm supporting the goddamn military, and this is how up my ass I am. So I have no problem admitting it when I am walking down with my bunghole in my mouth. So this game is usually very tight, very fun. I always kind of root for Army. My dad was in the Army Reserves. West Point's up the street from me, and I mean up the street, probably like 40 minutes, so it's not that up the street. Beautiful place. A lot of obviously emotion when you go up there. A lot of sentiment. A lot of it. It's just a fantastic place. With that being said, Navy laying almost a touchdown. Navy's been a better team all year.
Absolutely.
Better quarterback. They could throw it a little bit more. I am going to go with Navy minus 6.5. Sorry, Dad, over the Cadets.
Do you remember who Army lost to earlier in the season? And I was like,
it was like North Texas, San Antonio.
Tarleton State.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
I was asking you first because I totally forgot. And then while I was asking, I'm like, wait, I remember it. Tarleton or Tarleton State. Now, with that said, they righted the ship a lot.
Yeah.
Compared to, like, I thought they might win one game all season, losing to freaking Tarleton State. I didn't even know that was a college. When you're Army and you're losing to somebody that we didn't even know existed, that's probably not good. So they really did right the ship. And you're right, man. I've seen games where Army was the big favorite and it ended up being close. And I've seen games where Navy was the big favorite and ends up being close. It is wild. And if you're looking for exceptional football, this is not the game. But if you love your country and you want to see a stadium filled with 18, 19, 20, and 21-year-olds that are willing to put their life on the line so that you can be an idiot at a bar on a Saturday night or eating popcorn with a slushie at a movie on a Thursday night or just hanging at your home with your feet up on the ottoman watching the NFL or Red Zone on a Sunday afternoon, that's who's making that possible for you.
Well said.
It's not some asshole in Washington, D.C., senator or congressman or president for that matter. It's those guys and gals that sign up, that volunteer to protect us and make sure that nothing bad happens to us here in this country. So for that reason and that reason alone, I watch that game and care a lot. To the game, I'm with you. I have a heart. Navy was a pretty good football team this year. They got smashed by Notre Dame because Notre Dame is so good. I just think they are. I think they're a better team this year. So it's a lot, man. 6.5 in this game is a lot. I just cannot bring myself to take Army because I just think it's a down year for them. So I will go with Navy minus the 6.5.
I'm going out west to the Lions and the Rams. I think the Lions are desperate here. I think whatever they did last week, dude, run the ball. Jahmyr Gibbs, run the ball. Play action with Goff. With that being said, the Rams are very good. They're very good. I'm hoping for keep it close. Rams up like 34-30 and then just kneel the ball and get out of there. Give me a late cover. Give me the Lions +6 in LA.
I'm kind of with you on that. I think they're both, you could say neck and neck, coin toss offensively, but the Rams are just so much better on defense. What's the spread on that, though?
6.
It's just a lot.
That's
a lot.
I know.
Against a team who we consider like kind of championship pedigree, like elite pedigree. It's a lot, but I'm kind of with you on that one. I don't know if you saw the press conference with Joe Burrow. I guess it was yesterday or early today, but I think it was yesterday.
Did.
You talk about a guy that looks like he's either going to die of cancer or is going to retire at the end of the season. I'm not sure which, to be honest with you, because he was talking about personal problems and football problems. There's a lot.
He couldn't even get a sentence out. He was like,
yeah, he looked like Macaulay Culkin when he really realized that his parents weren't home on Christmas on the night. And I just think that's not a good look. That's just not a good look. Now, the Ravens are not exactly playing well, but the one thing that they, kind of usually try to depend on is a running game. And I just think if they can run the ball at all in this game, I think Cincinnati's probably going to lay an egg because he did not look happy. Give me the Ravens minus 2.5 at Cincinnati.
You know what's funny? I'm in a pick 'em pool right now. I just picked my games before, and I'm like, I picked every game and I left this one, and I'm going back and forth. I'm like, God damn it, I don't want it. This game's ridiculous.
They both stink. Cincinnati could just move the ball all over the field at will. It's ridiculous. Like, and Joe Burrow's so good, but he just looks so sad.
Something was up with that.
When do you see a sad football player? Angry? Sure.
After a week, after he goes, I'll play football no matter what. I'm a football player. But
frustrated.
What happened?
That's just it. It doesn't match. It doesn't match. I don't know, man. It's just not a good look after.
Oh, good,
I don't know. Did what happened in the Bills game just like crush his soul? I don't know.
Does he not like Snell? I mean, maybe.
But I have to go against it. So.
Hey, Pete, I don't know if you know, but on my TV, Sharon Moore's arrested. I don't know how that just happened.
Oh, how about that?
Jesus
Get
Christ.
that perp walk.
Can't get this out of my fucking screen. All right. My best friends, and you're a very good friend of mine. It's no secret. I am not a Phillip Rivers guy. I just never have been.
I am.
He's a Charger. The guy that used to talk shit without cursing, him and Larry Bird. I hope Phillip Rivers, if he plays, gets his ass kicked.
Oh,
and I think part of me's rooting for it. And I think this is going to be handoff, screen. I think I could like 17, 20 in this game. I'd be comfortable with it. Seattle minus 13 hosting the Colts. I think the Colts are a mess. I don't know if the Colts win again this year.
I think you're probably right.
It's a good story for half the year, but that's why you play 17 games and not 9. Sorry for you guys. Mike McDonald and a ferocious Seattle defense, minus 13, hosting the Colts.
While I am not rooting for Phillip Rivers to get hurt, because if he does, we're probably talking. Like,
I'm not rooting for him to get hurt. Just sore after the game. Just sore.
Okay. It is a real stretch for me to lay 13 points, 13.5, whatever it ends up being. But if you just look at the last couple of games, if you just look at the Seahawks since they lost to the Rams, they got shutouts. They win big. Like, they're just like putting it on people. And one of the things I like is that McDonald just tells Sam Darnold, let her rip. Like, just let her rip. Don't do the whole back thing. Let her rip. You throw an interception, so what? Yeah. The confidence that he instills in him, I think you're probably right. If the Colts can't get any kind of running game going in this game, it's going to be over quickly.
Yeah,
because they're already mentally probably in the tank.
Agreed.
So if this thing is like 10-0 at the end of the first quarter or something like that, it might as well be 40.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because you're like, we're not coming back. They're just not coming back. Not against that team.
Yeah.
I'm stupid, but I'm gonna do it. I'm going to take the Chargers plus the 4.5 at Kansas City. I just think it's a lot of points.
I don't know if that's that stupid, to be honest with you.
Well, just because they're so banged up. Your quarterback's playing with a broken hand. How many, is Kansas City to lose at home again? They don't have to lose. Maybe they win 2017. Wouldn't shock me. It was like 17, 14, 17, 13 even works.
Yes.
So this is more about the number. 4.5 is a lot to me, which in a game, which is like somewhere between a 1 and a 3-point game. So give me the Chargers plus the 4.5. Plus the other side of it is, if you really think about it, I don't think that I know Kansas City mathematically is in it, but you could just tell the way they're walking around. They know they're done. And the other side of it is Chargers need the win. You need the win to stay up higher in the playoff race.
This is the last fucking splurge if they're going to do it. So
I think as crazy as it sounds, I actually think I think the Chargers are probably more motivated in this game. So give me the Chargers plus the 4.5 at Kansas City.
As we were reviewing the games for this week, I kind of talked myself into this one. The Patriots beat the Bills already in Buffalo. I know we're so weird on Buffalo. New England coming off a bye, I think. They're coming off a bye, I believe.
I think you're right.
Sometimes you can lose a little momentum on a bye with a young team.
That's true.
And Buffalo was trying to still fight for that division. Get one more game in the old stadium up in Buffalo. Give me Josh Allen and James Cook -1 at New England. I know.
We can't do it. No, I just had this conversation with you earlier, right? Like, I don't know. My head and my heart, they're completely split on this one. I will say this: if Buffalo wins this game, the sport is so psychological. If Buffalo wins this game, that puts so much doubt into the minds of New England. Like, oh,
No
maybe
doubt.
we weren't ready. Maybe it's not the time. Oh, we're not a playoff team. Blah, blah, blah. Man, just so crazy. I couldn't pull a trigger on that one, but I love this game. This is my game, my bet of the day. This is my best bet overall for sure. Dallas at home -6 over Minnesota.
Yeah.
For two reasons. You got JJ McCarthy coming off a nice win, feeling good, but going on the road. And then you got Dallas. They play fantastic at home. You can pretty much lock it up for at least 35 points in this game. And to not cover, you would need Minnesota to score 28-29. I don't know that I see that happen in this game.
And CeeDee Lamb just got cleared, by the way. So
you're absolutely right. I had an ESPN alert for that one. So Dallas is pretty much a full go, and Minnesota's on the road.
And they still have life. Minnesota does not. So
yeah. So I just really like this one a lot. I think Dallas probably wins by double digits in this game. Give me Dallas at home -6 over Minnesota.
So I have the Navy midshipmen -6.5 against Army. Everyone, please watch that game. You'll be pulled on your heartstrings pregame, during it. It's a fantastic situation.
And after it.
Next week, oh, dude, not for sure. Next year, it's at the Meadowlands. I am going to be at that game one way,
cool.
hook or by crook. That's a bucket list game for me. I have the Lions. Excuse you. I have the Lions +6 at the Rams. The Seahawks -13 against the Colts, and the Bills -1 at Foxborough.
I also have Navy. I've been to Army Navy twice.
Yeah.
What an experience in person. Got the Ravens. I don't know how much I love this game, but both teams stink. I just think Cincinnati seems very depressed. So give me the Ravens -2.5 at Cincinnati. I do like this one. Chargers. I just think this is a 1 to 3 point game either way. I don't see anybody winning by more than 3. So give me the Chargers +4.5 over Kansas City. My bet of the week is Dallas at home -6 over Minnesota. Dallas is a completely different team.
That game should be like 9, honestly.
Yeah, Dallas is a completely different team at home. They're just significantly better at home, so I think they probably win by double digits.
Little mini buy them too for the fellas.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I like that game a lot. Now you just talked me into it. Trivia. Oh, for your last 6, Peter.
We don't talk about that.
I got a good feeling here. I think you're gonna go
live in the present. Let's live in the present.
Who is the all-time leader in passing touchdowns at Purdue University? Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Kyle Orton, Jim Everett, Bob Greasy.
Why do I think like Kyle Orton passed him up, even though he's not better than Drew Brees? What were the other names?
Jim Everett, don't call me Chris, and Bob Greasy.
I would be willing to bet that Jim Everett held that title at some point before Drew Brees get there. I know it seems too obvious, and I'm thinking I'm probably wrong, and then it's Kyle Orton, but I'm going to go with Drew Brees.
It is Kyle. No, it's Drew Brees.
Oh, okay, good.
That a boy. Peter, who's the all-time leader in passing yards at Purdue University? Jim Everett, Drew Brees, Gary Danielson, Curtis Painter.
Oh, it's not about knowledge. It's about, are you throwing me a curveball or are you giving me the double winner?
You say this and you get in your own head. It's tremendous.
I never get it right. I never get it right. I got to think that Drew Brees is just on top of all the passing lists. So give me Drew Brees on this one too.
2-0 for the young man.
Oh, no.
From Montclair State.
Doubled up on me.
Peter, for a perfect 3-0, going into a weekend. Who is the all-time leader in passing touchdowns at Maryland? Neil O'Donnell.
That's now I'm thinking.
Boomer Esiason.
That is who I'm thinking.
Talalua Tagovailoa.
I don't think so.
Frank Wright.
Oh, shit. Goddamn Frank Reich. Well, I've gone with my gut this whole time, so I don't think I should stop now. Shit. I'm going to go with Boomer Esiason.
Sorry, sir. 2-1.
Who was it?
Tagovailoa's baby brother.
Really?
Yep.
Son of a bitch.
And you immediately just passed by him like he was
immediately. Yeah, I didn't think so. He's only started there 2 years, didn't he?
I believe it was 3.
Was it? Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, good job.
Two out of 3 isn't bad. 2-1 is I'll take it.
Attaboy.
What are we leaning on this weekend? What are you watching?
We have Army Navy, and then we have a lot of great football on Sunday and Monday night. I believe a lot of playoff pictures are going to get a little more clear this weekend. And we'll see where we go from there.
The Packers-Denver game is the highest quality game of the weekend for sure.
Rams-Lions pretty good as well.
Yeah, but the Lions are 7-5. Like,
yeah,
Packers-Denver is the best.
That's the
highest
premium
quality
and
game.
And Bills-Patriots probably 2, right?
That's the game to me that is the most consequential. Like, whatever comes out of that game, it's okay, now we really have it doesn't even, like, the Bills can't even take over Patriots for the division lead, but it just says this time of year, experience, quarterback, been there. Like, we all feel like New England's ahead of schedule. If New England wins this game, though, it's like, no, they're real.
Can I ask you a question?
Buffalo wins this game, we're like, okay, things are normalizing. Even though I don't think they're a very good team. I just think they have Superman at quarterback.
I have to ask you a question. Does it make me a bad guy that I'm rooting for the Chiefs this weekend over the Chargers because the Chiefs can't win the conference and the Chargers are like too close to me?
Does it make you a bad guy?
Because I don't think we're going to beat.
No, you want what's best for your team.
Yeah, but I hate rooting for the Chiefs though.
Yeah, but it's a means to an end.
It's logical. Yeah, I know.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend. So
yeah, that's true.
So that's Kansas City right now. They're no threat. They're no threat to you right now. Kansas City's no threat to you. So hating them is a waste of energy. But rooting for them to beat the Chargers, it might help out in the ebb and flow of the universe.
Well, listen, my friend has the Chargers laying 4.5 or getting 4.5. I don't want to,
You don't want to be on the same side of that.
I don't want to go against you.
By the way, Saturday night main event this weekend, John Cena's final match against Gunther.
Oh, it's all over for John.
You can catch that on Peacock, I believe. I don't even think it's on NBC, although usually it is. It's definitely on Peacock. You might want to check with NBC, but from what he says, and it historically means nothing, but John Cena is kind of committed, like, this is it, dude. Like, once I do this match, it's over.
Really?
So he doesn't want to do like comebacks 5 years later. Stone Cold did that.
Money talks. He won't.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, you can say that all you want, but 5 years from now, if you're bored and nobody's hiring you to do bad movies, and if WWE's like, hey, want to come back and wrestle Randy Orton? It's like, yeah, okay. But anyway, it should be interesting. The rest of the card is
no wrestling on NBC, dude. It's
not, huh?
No.
Yeah, so it's only on Peacock.
Yeah.
So most people have it, but
have the cock. Yeah.
Have the cock. And that's it. And yeah, we should have a good time. You feel like they're gonna get the right guy for Michigan?
No, I don't.
You don't feel confident in that?
Not 1 minute. Not
just
one
because
bit.
of the timing?
Exactly. And the ADs and questions, I just have a really bad feeling about it. We could be having a conversation again in 2 years here. I don't know.
For Scott Bracey, I'm Pete Colasano. You've been listening to Bump and Run. And we'll catch you guys next week.
You should dust off the old application, Peter. No. Have a good weekend, everybody. Army, Navy, enjoy it. Enjoy the holiday season, and we'll check you next week. Later.
All right.
As Joe Burrow just pops up on my screen, depressed as all hell. That's fucking fantastic.
Oh, man.
Yeah, he looks like he just got his dog run over. Like, what is happening here?
That was the weirdest press conference.
He looks like...
It looks defeated.
It looks like he's going to retire today.
Yeah. Now, I hear people talking about, like, Carson Palmer. This is way more Andrew Luck.
Yes.
Like, Carson Palmer was pissed. If I remember where I could tell you where I was. I was at the Chelsea pub in Atlantic City when he was like, I'm done with this shit. I will retire before I continue playing. Joe Burrow looks like, I can't do this anymore. And when you put like stats next to each other of like how many games he's played compared to Andrew Luck and how many, he's been sacked more times in 29 more times in 13 less games than Andrew Luck. And he's been on the shelf like every year.
It's sick.
It seems to me more of a physical, like I can't sustain this, man. I'm always in the training room. Like it seemed like that more than football.
We think he is 27, Pete? Joe Burrow?
Yeah, 27, 28 at most, right?
29. Oh, he turned 29 yesterday.
Okay, so yeah.
Oh, maybe that's why he's bummed. I don't know.
I'm getting old. Like, I don't know, but
dude, that happened fast though. Did it 29?
Well, he was kind of an older player, right? Because he
Yeah, because you
transferred from
redshirted and
Ohio
transferred.
State and all that
Oh,
stuff. So,
and that's when you could sit out a year. That's when you weren't playing right away. You had to sit.
yeah. So yeah, just
Holy shit!
it was a weird press conference, man. Very solemn, like someone died.
You know who I could do without? Ryan Clark.
I can't stand them.
Oh,
Somebody's got to tell me what he offers.
unclick the live.